Hello, everybody. Welcome to to another episode of my art tutorial, actually. So we're going to continue today. I'm going to see what else I can't put on here. I'm gonna I'm gonna break it up today in just a two half-hour segments rather than one full hour segment. I was thinking about maybe three 20-minute segments, but no, I think two half-hour segments should be good. I'll keep an eye on it because right now it's 2:57. I want to go until about 3:30. Stop it. Then go from like around 3:30, yeah, about 3:30 to 4, and then that's it. Because now today, what I basically want to do is finish putting some more detail onto the windows and that. Now remember, there's to recap last time. I put the buildings back here, and there's a 3-point perspective going on. There's a vanishing point going down. All these lines here converge downward, and there's another vanishing point going this way, and all the lines are heading off towards that vanishing point, And I'm going to be finishing off the windows here, and I'm fixing this window down here. This window here is just a little too far from the, like, all these 9 windows are perfect. They're all in the right place. This one here is just a slightly little too low. These lines are incorrect. I kind of eyeballed it like offhand, but I know they're incorrect. I'm going to fix that soon. These were my little guidelines. If you remember my lesson last time, hopefully you can see that is where, and yeah, okay, where A to B to C to get your where your next corner is, just in case don't have it quite that far. So so that's how you. Now I'm going to be demonstrating more of that as we go. Okay, let's just get into it. Let's start drawing. Now I'm going to need to erase all this down here. Yeah. In my artwork sometimes I don't really worry too much about pencil smudging. It's all a part of the process, I think. You know, I could probably be a lot cleaner with it, but under different circumstances and under different conditions and for different means, yeah, I could be. But for my purposes today, I'm just, whatever smudging happens, whatever. I could be wearing I could be wearing a particular glove for that. But yeah. Now I know those lines going down here are correct. Okay. I don't have to worry about those. So that is one less of my worry because those were my initial lines in the first place. That beep you heard means it's just turned 3 o'clock. I'm one of those few people who loves wearing a watch. I feel naked without one. I just, yeah, I just have to have a watch. So I'm filling in those lines back in that I just erased. Those lines are still necessary. So now again, I'm looking for this box right here. I want to make sure it's in perspective with all the rest of the other 9. So and yeah, I'm going to start getting rid of some of these lines because these were just for demonstration purposes. You know, I don't really need them. They're not a part of the drawing. They're just like, yeah, I will be hopefully starting some pen work that either not in this video, but probably the next video, and then I can really give a good erasing to a lot of the lines. And with the pen, then because all these are little scribbly lines right now and that because it's pencil, that can be erased. But once I start putting the pen on it, those lines will be straight. Now, okay, so as you know, with this window here, I am looking for this window here. So I know from this corner here, okay, that corner here, that if I find the middle here, and then I'll measure it out. so I can find the exact center. This goes to 28, so I know that about 14. So at the 14 mark, I draw a line, and then I draw a line from that to about the halfway mark here, and then I know that right here, that's where my other line is. Now I still need to know where that line connects with that horizon, but that horizon is off to the distance that I can't see. So I still need to do it again, but I'll do it to this square over here, okay? And but this time I'll go the opposite way. And what? If I go the opposite way from that corner to that corner, you see how well, I'll move my hand in a minute, okay? You see how by finding that center here, okay, from that corner to this middle, that I could have also just went from that corner here and did the diagonal. Well, in fact, actually, that's going to save me so much work. Okay, this is yeah, I could because it's all geometry, right? So I'm going to actually save myself some work. So I know that right now that this line here, okay, that this box maybe is a little too wide. That because of that square here, I can square this off here, and vice versa. I so that okay. I'm just trying to figure something out here. It would that one seems right. That one seems like it's off. So is that going more like this way? No, that's staying. So all right. So, okay. I am going to go from this corner to that corner, and it's going to hit to this corner. But I know from here to there that that's where that line goes. Yes. I am. Let me see what I want to do here. I'm going to go from that corner to that corner, and then find. Next. That's weird. Yeah. See, my lines are not lining up because I wasn't really doing this correctly from the beginning because I had to cheat it the way you can go back and see if you're not watching this all in sequence, yeah, you're missing the point. If you're just coming into this now at this point in the drawing, yeah, you got to see what I got, how I came to this point. So I am looking for the next line that goes this way. Okay, well, I can could just continue that line then, actually, and know that that line, the next line would be here. And then if I want to find the next line that goes, okay, I'm going to line up this box with that box here, which actually lines up with this corner here perfectly. That's good. That means I'm on the right track. And then stick that there. Yeah, okay, okay. Which means that I need to connect that with that. Do I? Because I'm out of the war. Because there's a cone, there's a center cone of distortion, and when you go outside that cone, is that how that goes? And that would go over here like that, quite that far down. It probably does. Let me see. Because yeah, from at a certain point it starts distorting because of the perspective, because of where that her vanishing point is, where that vanishing point is, and where the one going down is. So it's telling me that my box is right here, but now that doesn't look right to me. Again, I gotta try to figure out where I'm going wrong with that. Yeah, I think I'm hitting the wrong lines. I will get this correct. Just give me a moment to figure this out. I'm just making certain lines just to see where certain things are. I know it looks like a jumble right now, but this will help me in the long run. 'Cause I need to. Is it there? No. Now, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna put it where it looks a little bit more normal to me, I guess. It's something. Okay, I'm gonna erase all those lines again. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, you're gonna see everything. A little. Sometimes it gets a little complicated. Cause me, when I usually do a drawing, I like to dedicate a few hours into it and getting into it. I'm not the type of person if I'm going to start drawing and then stop 20 minutes and like or do it like draw for maybe in like an hour tops and then put it away and then no, usually when I draw, if I have a project I need to draw, I like to dedicate at least like 3 to 4 hours to really dedicate myself and get into it. I might just draw for an hour at the beginning to get the preliminaries because that's usually the hardest part. Yeah, I want to eyeball this in a different way. Although that is normally the way you're supposed to find all your squares is to line up certain lines in different ways. It's not lining up in the way I want it to line up, so I'm actually going to. I know these lines here going down are correct. I want to draw them back in again. I'll give a good like again. I'll give a really good erasure to all those lines once I put the pen to it because that will line everything up. Okay. All right. Let's see because I'm missing a line here that will add that detail. Okay, I'm missing a line there. I know that line, but continues behind his hand here. Now, with the angle, if I can just actually find that vanishing point and then locate it. Now, maybe, okay, wait. I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna see here. Give me a moment. I might have to go and I might have to go get an extra piece of paper just to help me out. Well, I got this here. I was using it as a pad. I'm not gonna have to use. Okay. I'll use this here. I'm not gonna show you what's on the other side. It's embarrassing. So now I want to find that other vanishing point, right? Okay, I can't move it. I'm gonna take my long ruler here. Or wait, I'll do it this way here. That might be enough. Okay, wait. That might be far enough to. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go all the way to the end. Right. Okay. Drop the pencil. That's okay. Doesn't matter. You can stay here. So I need to extend those lines as far as I can put them. Okay, but only on this paper here. There. Okay. Because if I keep it against the flushed against it, then I know that's not gonna distort. Now I'll take and measure up as much as I can of that line and where that lands on the horizon. Yeah, I think I found it. Okay, if I found it, then that helps a lot. There's my vanishing point on that side. All right, so that's another way I can do it. Okay, you got that? So there's where my vanishing point is for this angle. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Like I said, usually when I do this, I usually like to do it all in one session so that I can kind of focus and get it done. But I'm also, I also like to have music playing. I'm gonna use this ruler for a bit. Just okay, wait. Nope, I still need that one. that long ruler, and I'm gonna move the camera over maybe just a little bit. Hopefully, I won't get in the way, and maybe raise the camera just a bit if it raises, if I can. I want you to be able to see what's happening here, what I'm doing. Now push this over a tiny bit, and so now, okay. So now, as long as the bottom lines up with it, I can move a little bit because I need to, yeah, line it up with the bottom. I know that's my vanishing point. And then, yeah, it's a little awkward sometimes. I don't have always the equipment I need. So I'm actually eyeballing that next line because I have an idea where I want that vanishing point to go. Um, I am keeping it with that vanishing point, so it will line up. But but yeah, but to find that next line, yeah, I'm not happy with the way the X's are. I know they're a little screwy. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother with that as much. So I'm gonna eyeball these last windows here, and you'll see as soon as even eyeballing, they will look a lot more natural and and in the right position than they would have if I would have went the other way around because I did mess up a lot on a lot of the perspective. But in the end, when I'm done, once I'm done, you're not going to really notice it. It will look right. And so now, right now, I don't need that. Anyway, I can just leave it on the floor right here, out of the way. So there you go. Now, if I still need that, I can bring it up because I'm still going to probably need that for these windows up here. That way there, I will. I know that's correct, that line here. But now that I have that vanishing point, I can actually use that line to guide me for the rest of those windows easy. From here on in, the rest of those windows will be much easier. This was a little tricky for a moment. But now, okay, I'm gonna darken up that area. I'm gonna put the necessary lines in. I'm gonna continue on that, and then maybe, yeah, I still want that to be pretty accurate, so I'm gonna put that back there, so I can get that put it flush, and then line it up, then put my vanishing point. That and on that vanishing point, I'm eyeballing where I think it should go. I think it's pretty even. It may not be in perfect perspective, okay, but it will be close enough that for my purposes, and nobody's ever going to really notice unless then even if I point it out to them, they're probably still going to be like, I don't see a problem with that. That's okay. That's good. That means I was successful in my endeavors. So I'm going to now darken these appropriate lines of where that window is. And now you're going to see, okay, from previously that it actually works a little bit better because I just needed that one vanishing point to really know where that was. And yeah, and because these are not because these are a little bit lopsided, again, it won't matter. But now you see how that much better lines up properly. And that was the whole point. I just want it to line up properly. That it doesn't really, even though it's not perfect, it's not going to distract your eye from it too much. It's still going to look right enough in the whole scheme of things. Yeah, people will be more dazzled by the colors once it's all colored in, and they're just gonna like see the perspective in there, and they're gonna be like, oh wow, okay, it's in perspective. Yeah, perspective is fun. I mean, I know how to do it the traditional way, but I wanted to try to hurry up the process and cheat by doing it the way that I did it. So, all right, let's bring it back. I keep putting it back down there, but I do need it until those windows are done. So I'm gonna bring it back in because it's in a way it's one in one sense, but it's something I need. I need that reach, so I need to get. I keep putting it away, and I keep kind of go get it back again. Okay, let's go. Let's get all these lines drawn in. See, yeah, it's not even quite long enough to reach all the way to the end, but that doesn't matter. Wait, I'm gonna make sure that is flush properly. Have that because remember my vanishing point is right here. There's my vanishing point. So now that I get that line, I'm lining it up with that C of this line here, and I want to keep these guidelines there to help me. But now that now I get that guideline there, I can extend that and be able to draw in the line where it's supposed to be, right there. Now from here again, I can just now I know this is all going to be perfect because I can just keep that line going up, and then it will this will keep giving me that line that goes to that vantage point, and you'll see all these windows up here will start looking perfect. So I am now going to this corner here like that. So I see that is 4.3 millimeters. So yeah, that's 4 centimeters. Yeah, 4.3 centimeters. Yeah, let's do that. So that means it's going to be 21 and a half. Let's put there. I know that's my halfway point. So I line that up right here with right here. In fact, I'll use that ruler just for the moment. Yeah, see where that lines up on that line. It doesn't matter about that line. We're just getting these windows up here. So that it still looks correct enough to me. I know it's not, but I'm going to continue that line up like that. All right. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now that I have that line in there, line fresh up again. Line that up with that. Almost to the end there. Close enough that I can draw that in, draw that in here, extend it just a hair, and then so if you can see now I'll again measure along the edge here. Oh, I find it's easier with the little ruler to measure. So I'm actually going to use that one. This block that is at 45 millimeters or 4.5 centimeters. So that would be 22 and a half right there. I can continue that. I can continue that line up too because that is pretty. Yeah, that lines up right perfect. So I can line that right up here like that. Continue that line up. I think that puts the window. Is it quite that high? Yeah, it would be actually. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. If it is that high, I'm gonna put it at that height because that is where my horizon line is. I would, I would say you're looking down on him a little bit of the perspective, so that does make sense. That's where that line would be there. That's where the horizon would be. So I understand. Okay, that is pretty parallel. I'm gonna extend that line, but that's just an imaginary line. That actually is not gonna. be visible. Let's draw in some of these windows. Let's darken up the proper lines, and then if I feel satisfied, I might even start inking those squares and making sure they stick there. So yeah, yeah, I think that's perfect. I think that's just at the right angle. And again, it's just because of that cone of distortion. And while I'm talking about the cone of distortion, okay, I'll show you right now. I have it right here anyway. And from that, when I was using that sheet in to begin with, okay, I'll get the actual sheet I was using, which is this one. All right. So when we were getting our perspective, I think I had it going. I pretty much had it going that way. Was it? No, or was it this way? No, it was that one is a little bit too steep of an. Yeah, I think I had it pretty much like that. I was using. Was it that way? It actually doesn't matter. From my what I was explaining is you see that cone right here, right? The cone of distortion. This is at 10 degrees. This is at 20. This is at 30. And this is from your eye line. Okay. I'm actually going to one of these days. I'm going to go through David Chelsea's book here and go through some highlights and try to and demonstrate for you guys some stuff of perspective. Now, okay, I want to stop for a second before because I only got about 7 more minutes to go well, a couple more minutes before I decide to stop this episode and go with my next episode where we finish the buildings and I'll start inking some of those windows. And okay, I'll take this moment before I let you go, and we're going to continue this on the next video. That out of all the books out there especially if you're getting into comic book, any artistic endeavor you're going to get into, I highly suggest getting this book, Perspective for Comic Book Artists, and these two books from Scott McCloud of Make Understanding Comics, which is the first one, and Making Comics, which is the second one. These two here are a must. And if I wasn't so lazy, okay, if I wasn't so lazy and we go through all the instructions and the courses in each one of these, because they're pretty extensive. Like I'll just go at the end of the first one here. I'll show you quickly. How far back did I go? After just at the end of the first chapter. Yeah. Introduction, notes. Introduction, chapter 1, writing with pictures, and it gives you these little extra notes from chapter 1. I'm not in view here. There you go. And look at that, get it now. And you can, yeah, and there's optional exercises. This is what I should have been doing from the beginning as soon as I bought these books, okay? But you do things. You're living life, you're living large. But if I did these optional exercises, and at the end of every chapter, they have them, you know, and and yeah, I again, see, they have the notes, some chapter notes, right? You get the chapter notes, and then and a lot of chapter notes sometimes, and then optional exercises. Again, optional exercises. It says like optional, but yeah, I really should be doing them, and I'm sure that would make me such a much better artist. But I'm dedicating myself to, I'm working and I'm doing my channel, and I still have my leisure time that I want to get to here and there, and all that. But but yeah, if I ever take a break from doing my channel for a week or two. Okay, it's not going to be for quite a while, but whenever if I ever get a chance to take a real vacation one day, okay, in the next few years, I want to take the time and read all three of these again and try to dedicate myself and go through some of those exercises and stuff. Yeah, so I'm really highly not, I'm highly recommending these three books. Perspective for Comic Book Artists, the Understanding Comics, and Making Comics. More so than any other book out there, these are the holy trinity for me of what I would love to get into this and document this all for you guys. Me getting into doing more art stuff because I love it, but I get so preoccupied. So yeah, so that's what I was talking about. Anything about okay, getting back to my subject. Anything outside of this cone of distortion here will get a little bit more warped. And you see, as we go outside of that cone of distortion, which I'm sure I have been, which is out here, because I think our focal point, I had it up more up here, kind of like that. So no, that wasn't the perspective. Let me see if I can't find that perspective that I was going with. So I think it was something like that. Oh yeah. See, all those lines are going to that. All those lines are going to that perspective. All those lines are going down to that perspective. And so if I was doing a picture, okay, where the picture was exactly the same size as this, then my picture would have been then I would have been able to really get detail with my perspective. And because see, it's smaller than where I was working, I had to extend all those lines. Yeah, so it made it a little bit more difficult to you know to be precise. But if I was doing it the old school way, right from scratch, okay, but I don't have the area, and with the size, I would have to have something. Yeah. So next time I might have something rigged, something that I can do that you'll see that will probably help me in many respects, and it'll be a cool lesson for you guys too. And because remember, I'm still in my own way learning. I think my pencil dropped. My pencil. There we go. Make sure I have enough lead in here. All right. So I want to darken these lines up again. Oh, actually, you know what? No. Part two. We're going to be continuing in part two. I said my little message. We're at 33 minutes for this one. I don't want to get to too much longer. So I'm not going to say my usual closer because you're going to all join me in my next video, right? Right. So, okay, everybody, see you there in my next video. Take care. Have a good one. I'll just see you there. Later.